Reorganizing. Found some old items in one of my warehouses. I'm reorganizing and remodeling. Started clearing some stuff out I haven't seen for years. This is a old oil injector. You see the part number on there? So this is probably the 1990s. I wonder if there's a date stamp on it. Somewhere back in the 1990s. This thing is made out of a solid chunk of brass. This thing must weigh about a pound and a half. It's incredible. 1/4 ounce, as you can see there on the marking. This is what we used to use for oil and dye injection into an AC system. And as you see, it's from about, it has to be after 1990 to 94, because in 1990 they started coming out with 134 in cars. By 1994, all cars are 134. And this is Acme thread on here for 134 PAG oil. That was that. I just stumbled upon that. And this is for measuring airflow when you're doing airflow measurements from ducting. And this is for residential commercial air conditioning. Still works. It has jeweled bearings like out of a Swiss watch. Like made out of rubies or something like that. Thing's super precise. That's the name of the company, if you could see it on there. I can wonder how much they couldn't even afford to build anything like this. Or if they would, this has the watch makings, the bearings in here and everything like that. If you had to rebuild this thing or purchase, if they had to, and this is made out of a brass casing. If they had to reproduce and make this by hand today, this thing probably be about $1,000, $2,000 for this thing. They could never reproduce or make these things like this anymore. Old H10s. These are some of my old H10s that died on me when I'd be out in the field going mobile, and I would leave one behind in the shop and forget about it, and I need another one. Instead of driving back and going to get it, I'd just run down and buy another one. Now, this is back in the 90s and 2000s, and they were $500. And I wouldn't even blink an eye about them. I had like 6, 7 of these things at a time. And then burn them out and put them to the side, burn them out, put them aside. Because sometimes shops would have bad power. You would plug in, and it would roast the board. I always said I was going to fix them, but I never did. So I have a half dozen of these things or more. And yeah, just showing you some old blast stuff from many, many years. This is what my dad taught me on for measuring CFM for your velocity, and your calculate your cubic feet of air coming out of a duct. And it has a tripod thing on it. Stick, a wand you could put on. It's threaded. You can see it right there. Yeah, I haven't seen this thing. Just came across it. This is probably 50 years old, if not older. All right, guys, that's all. Just some old stuff for air conditioning.